serious. Hey there, my name is Linda Monaghan. I am ADHD. I'm an ADHD mentor. I'm an ADHD parent. I'm medicated for ADHD and I was late diagnosed. So I was diagnosed 2 years ago. This is the ADHD is ... podcast. And let's go. Let's go, people. Okay, first of all, I want to start off by saying I'm an ADHD mentor. So I help people to get from A to B with ADHD. I help them to develop habits that they can keep for a while, because let's call a spade. We aren't going to maintain habits as people with ADHD unless there's another side, which is the compulsive side. There are 9 different types of ADHD, but there's so much more than that. And it's really delving into, this podcast is going to be delving into all aspects, but obviously it's going to be from my personal perspective. And this is why I want to get you guys involved. Get into the comments, talk to me. What are your experiences? Because my experiences are going to be very about me. So I don't want this just to be about me. I want it to be about you guys. I want you to understand that yes, there's more to life than just ADHD. And let's stop rambling and let's get going. The first episode, hello, ADHD is ... I am going to define ADHD according to the experts, and I'm going to read because obviously I'm not kicking something out of my memory too. ADHD is a common neurological developmental condition. I don't know, 2 to 5% of the population common? I don't think so. I think that's absolutely overstating the case. Basically, read, Linda, read. It is patterns of inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity that interfere with daily function. So it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. In the States, they kind of say ADD, attention deficit disorder. Core symptoms can be inattention, hyperactivity, impulsivity. I'm going to talk about all of these. And how they have affected my life. I am 46 years of age. I was diagnosed at 44. I'm medicated. I'm on 30 megs of Vyvanse at the moment, which is Vyvanse, different brand in Ireland. And I am upping that to 40 in my next prescription, purely because I use it to focus on work. So I use it to serve my clients, to serve me. And Vyvanse is kind of a slow release drug. So it works over 12 to 13 hours in the day. I'm going to be honest with you. I experience the hit and the focus probably about 40 minutes after I take it. And I'm very, very... That's Biscuit. Biscuit is going to join us for some of the podcast. I'm very, very placebo in what I'm doing. So that means that I have to be standing up when I'm taking it. I have to be into my work, because if I am sitting, I call some of the chairs in my house the death chairs, because I know I'm never getting out of those goddamn chairs. So if I am sitting in a death chair and I take my meds, that's it for the day. We will talk about different things like, letting the guilt go of not getting anything done in the day, letting the guilt go of your executive function not functioning. So let's get into it. The first thing, I'm going to stop. This episode, we're going to talk about Limerence. And it's funny because I actually saw Graham Norton last week, and the kid that was on it, who was, God, I don't know his name, that's terrible. He was his album is called Limerence, and Graham Norton didn't know what limerence is, and it occurred to me that maybe a lot of people know what limerence is, but actually they've experienced it, but they didn't have a name to it. So limerence is an involuntary state of intense romantic infatuation, longing and obsession with another person. Limerence and ADHD are absolutely connected. Now, you can have limerence with other neurological, I'm not going to say disorder, because ADHD to me is not a disorder. It's not a superpower either, but it's not a disorder. It's basically emotional volatility. It's not knowing. It's making something out of something that doesn't exist. So you're 14, 15, you fancy a guy, it's your first crush, and you see yourself marrying this person. That's not reality. Now, I know with hormones and young kids, probably that happens for a lot. It is not normal to carry this into adult life. It is not normal to think about somebody you had a crush on 25 years ago in this day and age. It is not normal. I hate that word normal. It is not, I don't know what it is. It is not part of everyday life to do this. And the difference between limerence and love is that love is a mutual trust and security between two people, reciprocated, it's there. And limerence is a fantasy, an insecurity. And the thing about limerence is it's connected to the dopamine levels in your body. So if you struggle with addiction, if you struggle, you're going to be addicted to somebody, essentially. That's what limerence is. You are just have intrusive thoughts, you're infatuated, and you're idealizing somebody, and it just doesn't exist. It can be really, really nice, but it simply is all in your head. And that's really sad to learn. And it's really sad to learn later on in life. I wish they taught kids, like when they're doing, sex ed in schools, I wish they taught kids about the emotional side of things, and I wish they taught kids about limerence, because what a fucking waste of time. What a fucking waste of time limerence is. You cannot control limerence, but when you understand it, you can realize, oh, that doesn't exist. So it is very much an ADHD thing as well. I am ADHD, and a lot more of the odd since I was medicated for my ADHD. That's what tends to happen. So you have an intoxication with somebody, you have euphoria, you have just a fixation on somebody, and this is going to make, I've experienced this is going to make me seem like I was absolutely crazy. No, it's actually just something that predominantly affects neurodivergent people. It is just something that we go through, and according to Dr. Bellamy, there are stages of limerence. We have initiation, euphoria, psychological fixation, desperation, and then recovery. And it just fades into the background. And I would say it's probably a good way of actually looking at hyperfixation and hyperfocus as well. Actually, hyperfixation more than hyperfocus. Managing limerence, no contact. You probably have no contact anyway. But I would say talking to somebody about it. Talking to somebody and asking somebody, have they experienced it? Have they... Because, we can experience limerence with characters on television as well, with celebrities. It does not exist. They don't know you. They don't care about you. but you have this fixation on them as well. And that's why, if anybody has any questions about limerence, we can go into it further. I want to keep these episodes very short. So I am pushing for like 15, 20-minute episodes, in and out. Let's not get inattentive, and let's not switch off. If anybody has any thoughts on limerence, any questions on limerence, please do ask. But the whole point of limerence is that it's about shifting focus to something else, and it's about addressing it as well. It's about understanding that that person is not infatuated with you back. Yes, obviously there are some cases that is going to happen, and then you very well will go off into the sunset and it'll be fabulous. But more than likely, if you have fancied 10 people in your life and it has gone into a state of infatuation, it hasn't been reciprocated by 10 people. It's a freaking harsh reality, and it's one that, as I say, when you understand that it is really a figment of your imagination, it'll absolutely blow your mind, and you'll be like, oh, okay, and start to look back at situations. And that's why I believe, like, a huge habit when you have ADHD, or whatever you like to say, when you present with ADHD or when you're diagnosed, a huge habit that you really benefit from is letting shit go. Because letting the limerence go over that fucking Egypt 25 years ago, and you're like, oh my God, I wasted so much time. Letting the days that you don't do anything go, letting shame go, letting food shame go, letting rejection shame go, because we will get into that again. We'll get into RSD. We'll get into loads of different sides of ADHD. The purpose of this first episode is an introduction, having a feel about, see how I feel, see how you feel. And do you want me to continue? Because I'm stubborn. I'm a Taurus as well as ADHD. I'm definitely continuing. When we talk about limerence and we talk about celebrities and TV shows, and then that's where, possibly a hyperfixation comes into it, which leads me on very nicely to the TV show that I am absolutely obsessed with at the moment, which is Heated Rivalry. If you see my shorts on YouTube, if you see my TikTok, obsessed much with two fictional characters. Absolutely want the best for those two actors, loving that they're living their lives, and they're 24 and 25, having the best time, hopefully having the best time. Cut off. That's the actors. The characters, oh my God, Ilya Rozanov and Shane Hollander, excellent. If you haven't watched Heated Rivalry, what are you doing? I have made many a social media talking about how I hyperfixate on media and music, and how it has just gotten me through life. Drop in the comments music that has gotten you through, TV shows that have gotten you through. Tori Amos, huge person who got me through life. Kylie Minogue, Tori Amos, Kylie Minogue, hilarious. Kylie Minogue, Alanis Morissette, Bruce Springsteen, Arcade Fire, the Pixies, the Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the Block. Yes, it's quite diverse. What is your favourite song? I know that's really hard, depending on the mood that you're in. Hyperfixation at the moment, and it has been probably since mid-December, is Heated Rivalry. It actually only came on our screens in Europe on the 10th of January. By that stage, I had probably, memorised every word from all 6 episodes. I'm not embarrassed by that. That's just like, I have a good memory. It'll leave me. But, in 1990, I think it was 1990 or 1991, I watched Dirty Dancing 51 times in a row. 51 days in a row, I watched that damn film. I was obsessed, actually, probably in relation to Heated Rivalry. There is similarities between Ilya Rozanov and Patrick Swayze, because in my head, I clarified in my head that, those two boys were born in 1990, Ilya and Shane, and like they're 37 and I'm 46, so there's only 9 years. They're not Connor and Hudson, who are 24 and 25, and there's too many years to count. So I'll fixate on the characters and pretend that they're older than they are. But Heated Rivalry, actually such a great program in relation to being neurodivergent. Shane, one of the main characters, is autistic. Ilya, the other main character, is from a traumatic childhood. I would be on the fence and question whether Ilya is ADHD, because I know there's a lot of similarities between childhood trauma and ADHD, but there's a lot of stuff he does just for a reaction. And that is such a symptom. I'm just going to fuck this bomb in here just to see a reaction. I'm just going to say something controversial just to see a reaction. And the prime example is episode 6, when he wears the Boston Raiders t-shirt over to Shane's parents. What? They don't know I play for Boston. Yeah. That's just reaction to see how people are going to react to you, which is huge, which is very very apparent with the business of ADHD. I am obsessed with this because it's such an amazing love story. There is amazing sex scenes in it. Sweet Mother of Jesus. Like, who knew that I would enjoy two men? Yeah, I do. It's fabulous. And I've also commented that if you have no issue with the misogyny and the sexual scenes in Game of Thrones, which are 10 times worse, and you have issue with the two boys in Heated Rivalry, or 4 boys, because obviously Kip and Scott in episode 3, you're probably just homophobic. If you don't like those types of scenes in general, fair enough. But do the inner work. Let's look inside. But yeah. And a world of learning too. Episode 4, Hollander. When he says his first name, I didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know. I absolutely looked it up. Frotting. I made a reaction video to that. That is possibly one of the sexiest scenes I have ever watched in my entire life. Shane, Ilya, and then just like Shane fucking hops up and ruins it all. Seriously, like, it's an education. It is an education. Episode 5 is possibly the greatest episode of TV of all time. And I have watched everything. The Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Game of Thrones. I refuse to watch anything to do with Game of Thrones because I just think the gratuitous violence and sex is like blah. But that being aside, I have watched everything. And yes, episode 5, I stand by it. Greatest episode of TV of all time. Anyway, we'll talk more about Heated Rivalry because I'm not moving on from it anytime soon. If you have got a favourite song or a music playlist, music is a wonderful thing to change your environment. So I know that we have an issue with moving to point A and point B, and music can really change that. So if you have something to do and it should only take 15 minutes and you find that you're 20 minutes into it and you could be another 20 minutes, put a limit of time onto it. And you don't have to finish everything in one day. And use music as your reward, or put music on to, I don't want to say transform, to, there is a word for it, I can't think of it, to move from one task to the other. Please drop in the comments if you know what fucking word I'm looking for. To transform to, I can't think of it. I'll think of it and I'll put it in the comments. I'm going to stop there because I don't want people getting bored. Maybe you're already bored. This is just my stream of consciousness. If you take some things from it, please do. I would love some feedback. I will keep doing this. I have had on because my hair isn't done and it's fucking cold. And it keeps me comfy and warm. So if you're wondering. This is my new podcast and I've been threatening to do it for a while now. ADHD is ... It's whatever you want it to be. Except a superpower. It's not a fucking superpower. I'll see you next time. Bye.